This weekend, Tony Ferguson is taking on Kevin Lee for a shot at the UFC interim lightweight title in one of the best fights of the year. However, as with all things in MMA, the shadow of actual lightweight champion Conor McGregor looms large over the affair. The winner of the main event this weekend should ostensibly get the opportunity to challenge for the real title, and McGregor has suggested he's open to the idea, but he has also laid out numerous other possibilities for his next fight, with his coach preferring a trilogy bout with Nate Diaz. It's a bevy of options heretofore unseen in MMA, created by the overwhelming appeal of the biggest star in the sport. And according to some, it's unlikely to ever be duplicated. Speaking recently on his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, UFC commentator Joe Rogan addressed the singular greatness of Conor McGregor, discussing what it is about the Irish fighter that has catapulted him to superstardom and why there will never be another like him. You're never gonna see another one like him because he's a unique person. He's literally being himself. You're gonna see a bunch of people try to mimic that, and in a sense, he's sort of mimicked the people who came before him, like the Chael Sonnens and the Muhammad Alis and the people that were really good at talking street. The difference is, what Conor's been able to do is he's the first guy in the UFC that's been able to do that's had spectacular results, and also showed his real character in losing and then coming back and winning very quickly afterwards against the same guy the Nate Diaz fight. That was a very important character exposing fight because he lost a fight, he got humbled, and then he jumped right back on the horse and then wound up winning. Then he comes back and blows Eddie Alvarez out of the water to become the first two-division, concurrent champion in the sport. It is inarguable at this point that McGregor is the biggest star MMA has ever seen. His recent boxing bout against Floyd Mayweather Jr. sold over 4 million pay-per-view buys. McGregor lost that bout by 10th round stoppage, but according to Rogan, that's just proof positive of how extraordinary the lightweight champion is. I think he's a unique guy in a very, it's almost like we don't have a word strong enough to describe him. Unique isn't a strong enough word. He's got brilliant ability. He's incredibly smart. He's very innovative in his techniques and his approaches, and I think he has phenomenal coaching as well. He's a combination of a lot of things. He has a brilliant team. John Kavanagh, his coach, is a brilliant coach. He's got amazing jiu-jitsu coaching and striking coaching, and his mind, he understands how to apply these things. His ability to perform under pressure is fantastic. You saw that in the Mayweather fight. Even though he lost that fight, he hit Mayweather with some pretty good shots and he won the first 3 rounds against the greatest boxer of all time. That's extraordinary. Conor's an extraordinary person. He has greatness. That greatness has been the catalyst for the most meteoric rise in combat sports history. McGregor made his UFC debut only 4 years ago, knocking out Marcus Brimage in 67 seconds and shouting Dana, 60 gigaseconds, baby during his post-fight interview. Now, any fight he is in is certain to clear at least 1 million pay-per-view buys. But even that might be underselling McGregor these days. According to Rogan, after the Mayweather bout, any McGregor fight is going to be the biggest fight in UFC history, because McGregor is the most popular fighter in the world now. I don't think it hurts his stock in any way. I think it elevates him. His next fight in the UFC, whoever it will be probably the biggest fight in UFC history, especially if it's Nate Diaz, because Nate Diaz is a huge name. If Nate Diaz and him decide to do it one more time, I think that will be the biggest fight ever in the history of the sport, because I think Conor has eclipsed the sport, largely. He's the biggest combat sport athlete not just of today, but ever. There's no one like him. MUSTREAD stories 19 pounds. Kevin Lee still has to cut 19 pounds by, but isn't worried. Response. Anthony Johnson responds to crybaby ass Daniel Cormier. IV. The NSC opened a complaint against Kurt Halabow for IV usage at EWTNCS. UFC Dr. Jeffrey Davidson discusses working in Vegas years after shooting Irma. Daniel Strauss talks about preparing for fight while dealing with Hurricane Irma. Videos to Embedded 3. Ferguson has some of the best workouts in the game. Freddie Roach teases GSP Conor. Kevin Lee talking about FK. Sanko and Anderson talk UFC 216. Listen up, phone booth fighting. Mir talks about Vegas and has a good response to Cormier. Talking brawls. Mark Diakis discusses his move to at full-time. Ultimate Couch fans. Tony Ferguson interview ahead of the big weekend. Social media Boulabase full trailer for Notorious. Rumble's response to DC. This is such a weird beef to happen now. UFC is making Moraga pick a new walkout song. They're making me pick a new walkout song. I've had this song for the last 9 fights. It gets me in the zone and ready for war. This is BS. John Moraga at Chicano John October 5, 2017 Thuggish Ruggish Bone. John Moraga at Chicano John October 5, 2017 Did that one the only time I got a bonus, but the IDNT pumped me up enough. Maybe though. John Moraga at Chicano John October 5, 2017 Colby coming for everyone. Honestly, gotta respect that effort from the fans. Tony Ferguson asked the fans who his favorite fighter is. First 3 guesses from the fans: McGregor, Nurmagomedov, Werdum. Real answer: Fedor Emelianenko. Ariel Helwani at Ariel Helwani October 5, 2017 Askren will be retiring then. 3 intermissions. Cody with the kind words. Uncle Creepy might not be done after all. Shogun knee surgery. USADA. Vitor got a new tattoo. Fight announcements: Anna Julitan 22 vs. Lisa Blaine 10 Bellator 185 October 20th. Zabit Magomed Sharipov 132 vs. Shaman Morais 91 UFC Shanghai November 25th. Chris Grutzmacher 132 vs. Davi Ramos 62 UFC Fresno December 9th. Final thoughts per yesterday's poll: more of you believe Ray Borg will blow weight than believe he can beat DJ in a fight. Maybe that's just trolling, but that doesn't speak all that well to the level of interest in this particular fight. That's it for this week, everyone. There's a good Bellator event tonight, and then tomorrow is the big one. Hope everyone enjoys their weekend and see y'all Monday. Exit poll: 18%, 83 votes, 39%, 173 votes, 41%, 182 votes, 438 votes. Total vote now. If you find something you'd like to see in the morning report, hit me up on Twitter at JedMeshu and let me know about it. Also follow MMA Fighting on Instagram, add us on Snapchat at MMA Fighting, and like us on Facebook.